Good evening and welcome to our sixth edition of In Case You Forgot here on American Hammers Network, American Hammers TV. I'm so excited to finally get back with the boys to talk about some West Ham and all the events that have occurred to my right on the screen. I don't know why I want to say to my left. To my right, we got, God, I can never do this shit correctly. I never do it right.
It's like a sobriety test.
To my right, but with my left hand, is brother Costia. Costia, how are you? I've missed you.
Yeah. And I don't get to see you on Sunday, which sucks. So I'm going to have to wait till the 18th. I'm great. I spent the day at home. I was unwell, but now I'm doing better. Just have to get a COVID test.
Oh, joy. Yay. That sounds so much fun.
Yeah,
And to the bottom of me is brother Charlie, Judgy Charlie. Charlie, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Great.
Thank you. Okay, that's what I'm bringing today. Yeah.
Oh, do you have your prop for the episode?
Oh my god, I forgot about this.
If not, I can fill in. I got a cigar.
I tell you what. While you introduce our other contestant, I'll find something.
I'm gonna talk like Mike Ditka.
Contestant. He's
you
co-host.
Competitors. You know.
Yeah.
Co-host. While you introduce the person who is better than me, give me a second. I'll try and find one in a minute.
And then,
no.
And then bottom right. God, I fucking suck at this. Whatever. I'm done pointing. I'm done pointing. No. I'm done pointing.
This
bottom right,
this guy. It's hard to do.
I can't do this. Bottom right, we got brother Alan. Alan, how are you?
All good, all perfect.
All righty then. Let's take a quick look at the chat. Peach, my brother, how are you? Mendem, big ups, love. Kieran, how are you? Lawrence, great to see you. And Wally, how the frick are you, buddy? Okay, Charlie.
You better be treating Tarek well, Wally. I'm just saying.
Yes,
just saying.
You better. And he's
a sensitive soul. You can't just.
we've got our prop.
Can only have a couple shots. Don't. I don't know if you're laughing at me or Charlie. I think you're laughing at Charlie.
This prop is going to be amazing. Please unmute Charlie.
Are you gonna like judge sing? So like when you give us the results, you'll be like
when
Alan's points were just a little better. Is that what you're gonna do?
Does this answer your question? Oh, it's out of tune. It's very out of tune. Very out of tune.
Your English accent makes
Maybe I'll
sound
just hold
so
it and
funny.
caress it. Maybe I'll speak to it. I don't know. It's very out of tune. We'll see what happens.
While our judge fixes his tune, let's see if two of our own can get on tune with some points. All right, we're going to start things off with the first topic. Let's talk about the Europa League match last night. Moyes made the correct decision and put together a back four of the youth, which I was very excited about. And who else? And Perkins up top. It was good to see some youth out there, some first-team players not get hurt, thank God. Costia, we'll start with you. Who were you most impressed by out of all the youth academy?
Yeah, I'm going to answer that question, but I just want to go on a segue and say I was really upset with David Moyes for starting Pablo Fornals. What on earth were you doing? You could have just started Potts. Dom on West Ham Fan TV gave me an absolute heart attack because in his post-match interview, he implied that Fornals was injured. I haven't seen that corroborated anywhere else, but that's exactly what you should not have done. The best U23 player, I think there's two questions, right? Which one was best? Which one looks the most ready? But which one is the best to put in the team right this moment? And I think it's two different people. Okay, I think if I had to pick someone to put in our first 11 to spell Aaron Cresswell, it would be is it Longelo or Longello? Longelo. I'm really impressed with him. He seems to have Masuaku's pace. not quite the finesse dribbling, but he's still very good.
West Ham Clips called him Alphonso Davies.
Yeah, and
there's
no way that kid is making more errors than Masuaku. As much as I love the guy, he might not score a worldie, a completely intentional worldie, but I was really impressed with that kid. And it's not the first time I've seen him. I've seen him. I think he played in a Carabao Cup game. I watched the preseason matches. I'm one of those lunatics, so I remember seeing him then. I've always really liked him. So for me, that's the one who I think makes the most sense to come in now. And the reason I'm not going with Alisi, I'm very impressed with Alisi as well, is I just think we have more cover at the position, and we're going to talk soon about how center backs are a priority in the transfer window because we've lost one for a long time, lost Zuma for maybe another 2 months. So if we're not going to trust Alisi to come in now and we're going to buy someone in January, that must mean Moyes doesn't view him as quite, and I think he's very young. I don't even know if that guy's 18 yet. But overall, IJ Alisi, I don't know if I'm saying his, I don't know. He is 21. Okay. Well, in that case, I thought, so he must be Baptiste that's 17 or 18.
Yes.
Alisi impresses me a lot. I saw him, obviously it's against the U23 teams. I think it was against Swansea. He dribbled through the entire pitch and scored. He just went by everyone. Now the defense was really lackadaisical and kind of slow, to be completely fair. But he does have that confidence, which reminds me of Zuma a little bit. Zuma will do that from time to time, run down the pitch with the ball and attempt a shot or an assist or something. So it's kind of hard for me to answer this question, but I'm going to say that the one I'm the most excited about, I think, is the one that's the most developed, and that's the 21-year-old. That's Alisi, and I could see him getting significant minutes, maybe not this season, but next season.
All right. I forgot to start the timer, so you did kind of.
I totally went over. Yeah,
it's okay, but I enjoyed it. Real quick before we go to Alan Charlie, I would like a clean transition on over to Alan. Can I get a? Can I get a transition tune?
You'll get
and as soon as the tune's over, Alan, you can start talking.
I'm just going to hit a quick cheeky D. There you go. There's a D. You go. Carry on.
I love it. I would be in the same boat as Costia, kind of, because I think Alesi is the most
take as much time as you want
right now. And he's the most mature out of all of them. On the other hand, we got Ashby, who, just like Langelo, played in the Carabao Cup game against Hull. I think that was Hull. And just the four guys that played in the defense against Zagreb, they were all lovely. All looked way more mature than I would have expected them to, considering it were pretty much the debuts. But my pick about the player who I would be personally going about as the most promising would be Jamal Baptiste, because he's 18 and he just didn't look out of place for me. And he has something in him that I think he will make it to the top for us, because the guy is 18 and the composure on the ball he showed in the game I was like, wow. Didn't really expect him to.
I agree.
His passing was very nice, especially his forward passing was very good. There was that one mix-up with him and Alesi where Orsic pretty much should have scored in the first half by the end. But, it were the debuts, so I'm not really going to go harsh on them for that. But I think Baptiste is the most promising, despite pretty much all of them being bound to play for us more than once.
I agree. One thing I would like to say is, I was really impressed with all four of them. It was really it was really nice to see that they all really did not look nervous at all. There, like Alan said, there was only one or two mix-ups that I can really note, and the only one I can really remember is the Ashby Baptiste aerial collision that they had that almost led to a goal. But besides that, I really loved the look of Ashby Longello. We might be the academy of fullbacks. I mean, shoot. But Elise, I mean, he's 21, so I expect him to have like that kind of, I don't want to say maturity because he's still so young, but like he's been there before. I know he went out on loan to Cambridge. Baptiste didn't have a lot to do, but he oozed quality. You can just see. Charlie, I was going to ask you to play a little.
What I've done is I threw it in a very concerned way onto the bag, and it made a very bad noise.
So it's out of tune.
Well, it's out of tune. We can tell you that. It might be out of commission. That might be a bigger problem, but we'll vibe it as we go forward. I'll try and pick it up in a bit and see if it still exists. But yeah. When it comes to points, early doors, I'm giving this one Costia. The thing is, I think you can certainly make the argument about the idea of promising being the key word, and saying that you're looking at Baptiste, for example, who's only 18, and I think had, if you're rating it in terms of like age plus performance in some sort of mathematical equation, then Baptiste was the best. Exactly like my G would say. Even though Perkins is the youngest, he looks a bit overawed by the occasion. But I thought Elise was better than Baptiste by a not insignificant amount of distance. I thought it was pretty decent. Like, Elise was over everything. He had their number 9 in his pocket for most of the game. Every time they tried to punt, when we did eventually press and they pumped it forward, he was winning all of the headers. He was getting forward in a decent way. He was passing well. I thought he was really good. I thought he was really good.
Almost poked home a goal at the end.
Almost. Yes, it did look like he was almost the one. So I'll give it Costia this one. I'll give it Costia. But to be honest, it was just exciting to see all of them on the pitch, wasn't it? Just good times.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, do you personally have a different answer than both of them, and you'd like to do a little elaboration before we move on?
No, I would have said Elise as well. I think the one person who we haven't touched on as much is just Harrison Ashby, who I thought was really good.
I mean, honestly, they were all superb for their debut. They all looked very very
yeah.
tight.
I didn't really see much of Longello. That's not to say he was bad or anything. I know a lot of people in the chat after the watch along were saying he played really well. I just didn't see it. But I thought Ashby was really, really good. And the cross that he put in at one point for Perkins' header was
a peach.
It was very good. Very good.
Peach. And I want to give a quick shout out to Forsen and Freddie Potts for making their debuts as well. Forsen looks to be a very tidy player, and I really wish that he would have
also so tiny. I'm wondering if he still has time to grow. Like,
I
isn't
wish,
he 16 or 17? He's got to grow like another 5 inches.
I wish
in the picture with the whole group, he's like down here, and
I wish I could have seen him here for 10 minutes instead of 4. That would have probably.
Well, there was absolutely no reason to play freaking Fornals or Ben Rama, and he easily could have had more minutes.
I agree. All right, let's move on to topic number 2, and now we're back. We're back to the timed answers. I'll let you both open up, MC a little bit, do your freestyle, but now we're back to the rules. I feel like we talk about this every week, Twitter, personally, all around the shop, but we got to continue to talk about it now because January is slowly approaching. Injuries keep happening, and we hear different names, different rumors every single day. So topic number 2 is going to be, which center back target would you buy personally, and how would they fit into our squad? Alan, I'm going to start with you because Costia went first. Your time starts meow.
Well, it's a difficult question, kind of, because what Moyes wants and what probably is better for our future could be 2 different things, because we could go for a temporary fix, like Nat Phillips of Liverpool, let's say, Or we could go for someone younger that will be Ogbona's successor, let's say. And I would go for the second option because Ogbonna, obviously, ACL injury is going to hamper his fitness for a long time. And if he comes back into full fitness before the start of next season, that would be lovely. But I really don't expect him to do so. It would take a few more months for him to really do so. So my best bets would be either Nathan Ake of City. That's a lovely link for me because he can play centre-back, left-back,
Totally
as
agree.
he did for Chelsea when he was younger. And he's just a lovely defender with great ball-playing abilities, obviously suited to the Premier League with his experience. We could also go for Chaletachar again, because Moyes obviously likes him, considering we've been linked with him for 2 years now. And he would be kind of cheap because Marseille is struggling financially. So that would be the two main players I'd go for. We don't really need Nikola Milenkovic now, with Zuma being there. We have too many right-footed right centre-backs, so it's not really necessary to spend a budget on him. So it's going to be either Ake or Chaletachar for me. And if I had to pick one, obviously Ake we can say he's the better player, considering he's got Premier League experience, and he would be more suited for us. But he's going to be way more expensive because it's City and they're not going to let him for £20 million, considering they paid like 55 or something for him.
Gotcha.
So we could try and get him on loan, as the talk is right now, and that would be the temporary fix. And I would probably try to do so with maybe a buyout clause for like 25 to 30 million pounds. I think they could agree on that. But Chaletachar being valued at 15 million pounds or so right now, I think he could be the one for us. Both footed, good defender, good aerially, with a lovely distribution of the ball.
I agree with that. I agree. Costia, please take it away.
I was a little worried going second because I thought the name that I'm going to pull out that hasn't actually been mentioned, it was someone that might be on Alan's radar, and I'm surprised he didn't say the name. My answer is going to be very different from what David Moyes thinks. I'm imagining, although he could surprise me, because I know that he likes versatility. I like Ake a lot. I think Ake will be priced out of Ake just a little bit. I think they're going to want 25 to 30 million, and I don't know if we're going to commit that much to one player in this window. I think we're aiming to spend 15 million here, 15 million here, and then 10 million on a third, something like that. I do think if we can get Ake on like a loan to buy, it's probably more likely, and maybe Manchester City will be agreeable. We'll see. I don't think that's a bad shout. I also think a very likely candidate is Tarkowski, simply because his contract is running up, and we've been linked to him before. And he's kind of a Moyes player when I think about it. He's very simple, no nonsense. Like he's a bit of a Dawson with more finesse and less rampaging towards the goalkeeper on corners. But the player that I particularly want, that we have been linked with, is another Marseille player, but it's not Chaletachar, or however the hell you say that guy's name. It's Bouba Kamara. And let me tell you why I really like Bouba Kamara. I like Bouba Kamara.
You got 30 seconds.
Okay, well, I can do it in 30 seconds. He's 20. He's 22, only 1 year older than Elise, but he's already played 107 matches for Marseille. He's French. I just want more French speakers in that defense. Why throw in an Italian or a Spanish or something confusing? Just keep the francophoneness going, right? You've got 4 already. Add a 5th. It's not going to hurt. And the real reason I really like this guy is because he can play center back, he can play defensive midfield, he can play fullback, and we need cover at all 3 positions. So I just think it's a win-win-win, and I don't think he'd be more than 20 million pounds. So that's who I want, Bouba Kamara.
With 3 seconds to spare. Look at you. Look at us. Who would have thought?
Not me.
Look at us. Look at us.
I love that. I love that video. Charlie, before I'm gonna let you give the point out, and then I'm gonna give my say, and then give your say as well,
Okay.
if you have an opinion on the matter. But please, bailiff.
Okay. Yes, Judge. I think I like both options. Both of the candidates provided are bangers. I think the point I would disagree with Costia on, for example, with Bouba Kamara, is I think he'd cost more than you think he would. I think he's getting a lot of. He's becoming quite the hot property at the moment, and his age and everything else. He has the vibe of someone who would go for 30+ mil. And I think whether or not that's within our price range, personally, I don't think it is. Which would infer my selection. But before I give my selection, so I'll say Alan gets the point for this one, because I think Kara is the more achievable option. Like you say, long-term target, unsettled to an extent, more likely to just actually be achievable. And achievable is what I would pick. My pitching would be Tarkowski. I like Tarkowski more than most people do anyway, but in reality, we need someone who's going to come in and hit the ground running, and he has everything that I think we would want, that David Moyes would want, and is pretty flipping dependable while he's doing it. And I think we can get him for a decent price compared to anyone else. I think would be a lot, but that's more just a realistic answer, as opposed to if you said to me which centre back would I get, I'd probably Nathan Ake would probably be my number one choice, but I just don't think it's possible. So I would I'd be lobbing Tarkowski in there. But points wise for Alan's that gets that one.
All right, I like that. Quick roundtable question for you folk. Do you think we need 1 or 2 center backs in January? Just speak up, any of you.
I'd say 1.
Yeah, 1. There's no need for 2.
Yeah, I'm happy with 1, especially if Zuma's only out till first week of February or something. I think we can be all right with Elise coming in for a spell. Hopefully, maybe. Yeah, or
one of them.
Let's go with the older one.
It might end up being both of them if you revert to 3 at the back. To be fair, but yeah,
the target I would go with personally, and I think we could get creative with a way of purchasing him, but I do really like the sound of Nathan Ake if we can make it work, because we all know Moyes loves a do-it-all, whatever position he gets. Center mid, striker, right back, left back, center half. If he can play 2-3 positions, that just really fancies him. With Nathan Ake, I know the price could be quite substantial, but I think we could get little trickery, and we could do like maybe a 5 to 10 million 5 to 10 million like loan fee, and then the buy option would be a little cheaper. You know what I'm saying? I think we could do a little something with that. Charlie, do you have a dream? Not a dream, but do you have a preference?
I think with Ake though, I just think City don't have a reason to sell. Like it's like. But
if it was your choice to pick whatever center back out of all the options and rumors.
I'd get that. If Ake would be my first choice. Would be my first choice. I really like the idea of Kamara, to be fair. And as Costia eloquently has put in the past, he's French. He's there. He speaks French. You want to get him involved, right? But yeah, for me, I love the idea of getting someone like Kamara in, but just the track record of Nathan Ake, the fact he plays on the left side, and we're going to have to exactly Sacre Bleu. Forget the fact that we're going to have to replace Ogbonna sooner rather than later, regardless. Anyway, just because he's at that age.
A little escargot.
Everything for me. Yeah.
Costia, you like escargot? You Frenchman?
You sound like a guy.
I haven't eaten escargot since I was maybe like 8 years old. And I have
when you were 8?
I remember liking it. Yeah, actually,
Okay.
when I was 8, and I ate it. I remember being on a boat. I don't remember why I was on a boat. I'm 8. My memory's a little fuzzy, but I ate it on a boat, which is very appropriate. It was
You're just
very
a
good.
man
But
of the high seas.
let me just give everybody some clarity here. The French do not say oui oui. That's a derogatory stereotype. And then like literally no French people say oui oui. And then sacre bleu is like almost never said either. You know, it's like it's an old person's term.
Just a quick response to Lawrence. I think all the rumors that we've seen, I think they all are realistic because we are massive and Kretinsky's got bills to spend. But that is to be seen, my friend. Fourth topic. Goodness gracious, I don't know why. I just had to tap my chest. All right. I think I don't know how divided this is. I mean, it all depends on who you're following on Twitter, what you're seeing, whatnot. But let's get into topic 3. Let's talk about Alex Krall real quick. Let's talk about his latest performance. And I know he played with a bunch of the youth. He's played with some guys that he normally doesn't play with. And this was his second match in how many weeks? Like in a month? This has to be his first match in like 3 weeks, right?
Even more, I think.
Yeah.
Because he was out of COVID for a while. And
so
he didn't play our last Europa League game.
Yeah. So let's talk about Alex Krall's performance real quick. So the question presented for you gents. Opinions on Alex Krall's performance and his future at the club. Do you think we'll buy him at the end of this loan spell, or do you think we'll send him back to Spartak? Costia, I am going to set this timer for you. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I'm going to give you 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
Great. Thank you, Lucas. I have to say,
say thank you, Chairman.
No, I'm not going to say that. I have a
Charlie. Take that note.
I've got it down.
It's so hard to genuinely analyze Alex Krall with so little, evidence and actual playing time. I just have seen very little of him. My opinion of him is not too dissimilar that it is of Vlasic, which is okay. A couple promising moments, but I really have no idea just because I haven't seen you play enough. That being said, he gives me Havard Nordveit vibes. He just does. I don't know if it's
that is
because
hard.
He's tall and white and lanky. I don't know if it's because he just seems a little slow at times in his decision making. That's the only player I can really compare him to at the moment. But again, that's with very little evidence. I haven't seen a whole lot. And, I don't want to be one of those West Ham fans that was slating Benrahma or slating Fornals very early on when they were still getting used to the Premier League, because you end up being very wrong. Once they've had a year under their belt, they surprise you. That being said, I'm not convinced yet. I'm very, very open to having my mind changed. Unfortunately, I think the only way he gets in the side is if we have a really bad situation of either Souček or Rice being hurt. The best case scenario that I can see is that Souček has a small injury, like a 2 or 3 week injury, and then Krall does what Ben Johnson did, which is he comes in, he's solid, and it's difficult to take him out. But pretty negative, and I do think we could spend our money elsewhere. Send him back to Spartak. If I had to make a call right now, again with the almost no evidence, I would send him back to Spartak because he's giving me Nordveit vibes.
Let me tell you, when you said Harvard Norfield, I just about lost my shit. Oh my gosh, you're a critic, but that was above and beyond harsh. I respect it though. Oh my god. Oh man. I just was not expecting you to have
I'm not
that
going
in
to
your
let this
locker.
color my judgment, but I'll just say this. Nordvite was good. Shoot me. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying it. Nordvite was good. The hate that guy got
I
was
gotta
just wrong.
reevaluate this whole
I'm
stat.
just
Did
gonna
you
put it
also
out there.
think Radoslav Kovac was good?
I'm not gonna let it color my judgment. I want to say that Costia now. I enjoyed the burn. I like a good burn, regardless of what was accurate. I enjoyed that. I'm not gonna let it color my judgment, but I just gotta back the beef for a second. I just gotta let the
One of my
people
best
know.
friends is Norwegian, but I'll never forgive him for giving us Harvard Norwegian. But my God, I'm gonna have to do a whole reevaluation of who's gonna come on this show next week. Jesus, just incredible takes all over the shop. After Allen and Green with you, Charlie, I'm just gonna sit back and just
Nordvite was a good DM. He was a good DM. It's not his fault that Bilic played him at right back. He's not the right back.
Also, let's be honest.
Fair.
How many players have we actually signed and then sold for a profit? We did that with Nordvite. Let's be fair about it. We don't do that with many other players.
Alan,
let's be real.
Alan, I'm gonna start your time now.
I thought he was good. I thought Kral was good against Zagreb. He showed more than his previous appearances, because before he used to be really sluggish on the ball and like not confident enough to make a forward pass, like play the ball down to the wing and stuff. But yesterday I thought he was kinda coming into his own. His forward passing was good. His movement was very good, I thought, down the sides and by the middle. The thing with Kral is that he was a centre back that went all the way up to playing a creative midfielder at Spartak. So there's not really much I kinda expect from him, in the way that he can do it all. Like, he's a jack of all trades, but he doesn't really look the best in any of the categories he's good at. So he looks well-rounded, yeah. But the thing is that, just as I said, he doesn't excel in any category. He doesn't excel in passing, ball movement, defending, or such. If I had to make a call right now, I would keep him. I would keep him just for the pure fact that Moyes scouted him and Moyes likes him. So Moyes must know what he wants to do with Kral. And that's the early judgment from me. I just like him as a player. I didn't watch Spartak games because I don't care, but it's the Russian league. No one cares about the Russian league.
Apparently we do.
Yeah, true.
Except Russians.
But,
yes.
I watched highlight of his, and he looked very good on the ball. Like, some of the skills he was pulling off, like, you wouldn't tell he was a centre back at first. 16 million pounds. I would keep him, for the record.
All right. And real quick, because James is asking, I think it's a good question. If you had to, so he's played 2 matches this year. I think he's gotten subbed on once, I want to say. So he's had either 3 or 4 appearances.
4 matches, 1 start.
What would your rating be for him this season? Just out of curiosity. I mean, I'd probably give him a. He was involved with the Man United game. I can't give halves. I give him a strong 6.
Yeah, 5 or 6.
It's a 5. It's a 5 for me.
I'd give him a 6. I'd give him a 6 as well.
All right, Charlie, tell the people.
Okay.
Who gets the points?
Kral, I think Kral was one of those guys who like your boy Alan's just said, like, yeah, he doesn't. There's no huge excelling at any specific area. You know, you look at like Souček, you're like, oh my god, he's so good at getting in and around the box. He's so good at doing this. He's whatever. You look at Rice, you're like, oh, he's so good at this, that, and the other. He's good at defending. He's shielding the back four is incredible. All this other sort of stuff. Crowell doesn't. I haven't seen Crowell excel in anything particularly, but then again, I don't think you can see that yet. I think if you look at just, for example, Souček in like the amount of if you looked at Souček, the amount of games that he had played, the crowd had played, you wouldn't be able to tell those sort of things. It's a bit too early for that. I think he has something to give. And to be honest, like Alan's just said 16 million. I think the number I had in my head for some reason was 13 million. I don't know where I've got that from. It might be 16. But either way, whichever one of those numbers it is, for a backup midfielder, which is what he's going to be, you kind of also want someone who's going to come in and just be kind of dependable and doing everything. Because realistically, imagine like the right back situation, for example. Now, I think Ryan Fredericks, shout out Wally, has proved a lot of people wrong this season and the season before.
Big ups, Wally. Big ups.
He is very good at one thing. And sometimes when your first choice is injured and you have someone on the bench who's very good at one thing, is a very scary prospect. And so having a guy who could play realistically either Rice or Souček's roles, no matter which formation we're going for, and can also cover at centre back in a worst case scenario. I haven't seen it centre back. I don't really know much about him there, but you know what I mean. I think that's a useful thing, and for that kind of price, I think that's doable. I say we keep him. So Alan gets the points on this one.
Bosh. That's all I gotta say. Bosh.
And not for the Hazard Norvite hate, which I need to stress again was undue and unneeded. But
that's obviously why I didn't get the point, Charlie. We all know you love Hazard Norvite. It's fine. Love your mediocre Norwegian center mids.
Didn't come into my thinking. Did not come into my thinking whatsoever. Not when it comes to points, I am fair. I'm just letting you know that I won't stand personally. You know what I mean? Sacre bleu and all that.
Yeah, and all that.
Mid-table Bundesliga is perfect for him. That's all I'll say.
I like that.
We were a relegation side. Sorry, go on.
Me personally. Oh no, you can always cut me off. You all
no.
I
don't want to cut you. I don't want to cut you off. I want your wisdom. I want your wisdoms.
You know, I do pay the lights in here. I do pay the lights.
I ain't risking
Chairman.
I know where my food comes from. I ain't messing.
And let me tell you, Costia's on the bottom of the list. He wouldn't even say good evening, Chairman. Good evening.
We saw
it. Good
evening, producer Lucas. How's that?
Chairman.
Producer.
Call me Chairman. I'm going to put you in a noogie headlock. Call me Chairman.
And then I'm going to come out of nowhere with the wet willy.
Oh, you dirty dog. That is disgusting. That's childish. But that's cool. That's fair play. Fair play. Me personally, with Crowell, I still think we need to see more of him. And like Alan said, for a jack of all trades, he's young, 16 million pounds. I'd keep him. And like I said, he did help us, and he did play very well against Man United in the cup game. And for a player that barely plays, and we all, Costia, what rating did you give him? A 5?
Yeah, just a 5 because it's the middle number, and it's hard to judge him, but he hasn't been great.
That's fair. We all said 6. I think 6 for a player that's barely played, it ain't too shabby, and it's looking on the up, personally. Let's move on to our final topic. Hold on. Oh, I almost buffed this up. I almost buffed it up. I almost beefed it. Al's up 2-1. I was about to say Costia was up 2-1. Topic number 4, our last topic. Costia, I don't know what to tell you, man. You gotta do something. Mate. All right. Let's get into it. Burnley predictions, Sunday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. UK, correct?
Depressingly, yes. Too early. Can't be dealing with it.
Too early.
Bro, I don't wake up. Bro, I was asleep.
We wake up That's why I was late. Tired and go to the pub at 9 in the morning, and you're complaining about 2 p.m.?
Bro, okay, what time do you go to bed? I went to bed at 8 a.m. yesterday. That's the next question you're on.
Okay, yeah, but Charlie, do you have a little infant, an 8-month-old who wakes you up in the middle of the night?
No, I'm just deeply irresponsible, Costia.
Oh, okay.
My. That was top quality. All right. Oh, hold on. Just want to get through these comments. Thank you all for staying active in the chat. And on to our fourth topic, Burnley predictions. Costia, I want you to give me your prediction, how the match is going to go, final score prediction, and goal scores. Go.
Okay. We're going to win. We're going to win, but we're not going to win very comfortably because Burnley and Sean Dyche are always a solid, well-organized side. But I'm looking at 2-1. 2-1. We'll go up 1-0. They'll tie. We'll come back and score. 1 goal from Benrahma, 1 goal from Antonio. Tell you why I'm confident that we're going to win, though. Because one of the best, and I really mean this, one of the best players in FIFA Ultimate Team at two different positions has been one of the signings of the season. And, you know, we would be blessed to have a player with this talent, considering our situation at left fullback. His name is Maxwell Cornet. And Maxwell Cornet, cheeky, by the way, only 10K for his inform at left midfield, yet the second highest in-game stats after Diogo Jota's super Adidas orange card, whatever it's called. Okay. And then I've got his rule breakers at left back. They're both incredible cards. I wish I could play both of them at the same time. Can't. That's against the rules.
Get on with it.
This guy is injured, and he's their player of the season so far. They're in the relegation zone, so that's another reason why we should win. Okay, but if the relegation candidate's player of the season is out, I'm feeling pretty good, even though we're a little tired. Our squad depth is showing. We've got niggling
Arsenal,
injuries.
Adam.
We've got Cresswell, who's a little hurt. We've got Zuma's not there. Ogbona's not there. But I'm still very confident that we're going to win this one 2-1 just because of the fact that Cornet is not going to be there. And I just think he's very important to them in terms of them having any kind of success at all. And so we're going to win, but it's not going to be a 4-5-0 drubbing. We're not going to see that either. 2-1 to the Cockney boys.
Well, after your FIFA Ultimate Team ramble, I hope Charlie can remember. You got to tell me your goal scores. You're lucky I remembered.
I did. I said at the very beginning, Antonio and Benrahma.
Okay.
And Benrahma will exploit the fact that Cornet is not there, frankly.
Cornet. Love that. Alan, please, give me your gospel.
I'm going to go similar to Costia, sorry.
Costia, have him. Get him.
People have said my name wrong since birth, but my name's Polish and he's Polish, so he really shouldn't be getting it wrong.
Disgraceful behavior.
My Slavic brothers.
With Cornet being injured, they're too dependent on him. But it's also Burnley, and we love to not turn up against Burnley and lose like 3-1 with disgraceful performances from everyone on the pitch. Unless you're Felipe Anderson, who always turned up against Burnley. Miss him.
You said that like we were at a funeral or a vigil. I love that. Oh, by the way, Alan, I'm gonna PayPal you the £8 for the Felipe Anderson scarf that's still in the West Ham shop. Don't think I forgot about you.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Just quick bit of admin mid sentence there. Just.
Thank you, admin.
Cool. Thank you, admin. I would go for 3-1 instead of 2-1 because they are in the relegation zone. They're kind of shit. Kind of, really, to be fair. No Cornet, Wood playing awful, Barnes not playing any better, really. Tarkowski and me are mixing themselves up in the defense constantly. Pope is kind of not there as he would in the previous seasons. So I'll go for 3-1 win. Diop, Bowen and Antonio with the goals.
Ooh. Bowen and Antonio. And what did you say your final score was?
Diop and 3-1.
I'm still laughing at the Felipe Anderson thing. He always scored against Burnley. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna have nightmares on Saturday night going to bed thinking about Ashley Barnes and Chris Wood. I already know it's gonna happen. I can't wait to get my bets in and get my money on. Charlie,
Yes.
please round this off. Give us the winner.
Well, if there wouldn't be a winner if I get the point, so you're assuming there.
You always, I'm telling you, this always comes back to bite you. I'm not speaking for Charlie. I'm just saying we think closely, and if my calculations add up, Charlie does not fancy that comment.
I think Charlie really liked my answer and is going to give me a chance. Thank you.
Well, I think Charlie can speak for himself. So
yeah, no, I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Costia is getting the point. And it's the scoreline difference. It's the 2-1. I agree with everything.
Everyone drop a question in the chat. We need a tiebreaker.
We do need a tiebreaker. Get involved, people. I think see, the thing is, I agree with everything Alan said. But I do think that I just can't see us scoring 3. No, Burnley don't concede enough, I think, for us to score 3. They've got the pension. Like, I think Palace scored 3 against them recently, which sort of goes against everything Burnley is, and they're not very good, as Alan said, in harsher terms. But to be honest with you, I just can't see. I don't know what it is about. I just don't think we're coming into it with the zhuzh. If this was like 3-4 weeks ago, I'd be like, we're slapping them down. It's happening. But there's something about it right now where I'm just like a bit tentative. I do think we're going to win. I agree with both competitors there. Both contestants, both co-hosts, both intelligent gentlemen there. However, I think 3's maybe 1 too much. I would say 2-1, and for that, Costia gets the point. But I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. And I don't think... I usually be quite concerned about our defense, but they're not good enough to really worry us too much about that.
I threw in a topic in there. What do you think, Lucas? I know. I saw your face like you don't like it. Do you have something better?
No, it's not.
I have a thing to say. Ooh. We don't need a tiebreaker.
Oh, lay it down on the line.
I won my point for getting the Manchester City game prediction right.
Oh. Did you?
Yeah, but that was for last week's show, and last week's show was canceled.
It still counts.
This is spicy. This is a chairman decision here.
Charlie
is a chairman decision
/ VAR.
But I did hire Charlie. He is on staff, so if I can make him, I can.
I was gonna make a Boris Johnson joke and Angela Stratton, but now's not the time. Look, your decision. You're the chairman, mate. Buck stops with you. This is a you decision. I just make the judgment calls as I see them. I ain't making executive level decisions like this. This is something I learned. Everyone in chat, if you need this for future reference at work, this is a good technique to do. You ask your boss, it's their problem now, no longer yours. Chairman, good luck.
I've never
done my bit.
This. I'm going home.
You can't be asked. You can't be walking about chairman, and then when the time comes, you can't shirk the responsibilities.
Two can play this game because we had a discussion, not last episode, but I think it was the episode before, where we predicted and stated how many youth players should play in the Europa League, and I was the only one willing to go to 5 or 6, and we indeed had 6. It was for a different match, but I still wanted to do that. So, I got that right.
I don't disagree with that statement, but go on, Alan, you first.
Yeah, the kids' prediction isn't pointed, let's say. We agreed to award a point for getting a score prediction right.
Yeah,
and I did,
but it was also for the next week, and we missed our show last week. That's why we're early this week.
So this is the next week.
So, no, it's a bit like, if someone has a red card suspension and the match is canceled because of COVID, well, they still lose their red card. Oh, that's a good one.
We found it. I'm not a very technical person. I don't really want to award on technicality. I'm not going to.
How about this? How about Alan has a 1-point lead? We do the topic anyways, and Charlie could tie it again. And then if it ties again, we have to do the UFO question.
All right. Fair play. We're gonna give Alan 3-2 lead. Costia, I do like your question, but I'm gonna spice it up a little bit. Costia put in.
Oh, you can spice it up more? Let's do it.
Anthony Martial or Eden Hazard. He said, which one is less likely? But I want to hear from one of you which one would be the worst signing out of the two. Costia,
Easy.
you're going to go second. You didn't expect me. I said second. You didn't expect me to do that, did you?
Yeah.
Alan, I want you to go first.
Oh.
Who do you think would be the worst signing out of Anthony Martial or Eden Hazard?
Obviously, Eden Hazard, because he earns like £400,000.
Let's not go into financials. Let's just.
Okay, he's fat. And
so you're saying he's going to be this Samir Nasri of West Ham?
kind of. Yeah, kind of. He'd come in, have like 2 or 3 good games, get injured.
How dare you
and
disrespect
never,
Nasri that way?
never appear again for us. So for the simple fact that we don't really need Hazard anyway. If it was Hazard against Lingard, then we could have a conversation. But talking Martial or Hazard, we need a striker more. And Martial is a player who obviously won the Golden Boy Award for the biggest talent in the world a few years ago. Even last year he had a lovely year. So I think it was around 30 goals last season. And no one really talked about it. Yes, he's out of form, but he's not really to blame because he's not going to start over Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think we would be pretty much the best option for him to regain his way, possibly move away again, but that's to be seen. And Hazard he's old, he's constantly injured, he's fat, as I said. So does that.
West Ham United, everyone's stepping stone. I love that. The Academy of Fullbacks and the United Stepping Stone of football. Love that. Costia, please tell me which would be the worst signing out of Eden Hazard or Anthony Martial for the game.
Sure. Yeah. Well, as a Belgian, my dad's Belgian. I can tell you right now in the most self-deprecating manner possible, we absolutely do not want Eden Hazard on this team. The guy makes
half
almost
point for that pronunciation.
The guy Eden Hazard makes like almost $500K a freaking week. Okay. Yes, Martial is on a fair wage as well, but it's not 500 grand a week. Are you kidding me? We can't come anywhere close to matching that. Yarmolenko's on 125 and he's the highest paid player on the team. Let me tell you the difference between them two when they show up at training. Okay. Anthony Martial shows up at training and he's immediately joking and playing and kikiing with Masuaku and Diop and Benrahma and Zuma and Areola and that beautiful French contingent that we've got going. He's competition for Antonio. When Benrahma goes to the African Cup of Nations, he can come in at left wing. He's making 250K. He'll gladly step down to 150K if we pay his agent some more and give him a nice signing bonus. And then he gets to come with Lingard, his best mate. It's a good situation. It's realistic. I can see it happening. I cannot in any way see Eden Hazard coming here. And if he did come here, it would be like Payet, but it would be Payet season 2, which is you might have a couple nice moments at the beginning, but his ass would get fatter and fatter every month. And he would have this kind of prima donna, I'm the
like
best
one of
player.
Your French girls.
I'm the best player at this club kind of attitude. He would come in as a prima donna. He would come in entitled. He would upset the dressing room because he's making double, triple of what else everybody else is making. Daniel Kretinsky has money, but he doesn't have Eden Hazard money. Okay. And Real Madrid, if you believe the papers, I don't think we've really made a 20 million pound bid. I think David Sullivan went rogue because he loves a glory signing and called up Real Madrid and say, hey, remember we loaned you Faubert? Would you mind sending us Hazard over on the cheap? and they said no. I could see that happening, but I don't think Rob Newman and Moyes have any idea about Azar. But I think they actually may have had a conversation about Martial as a 2-for-1 with Lingard. Okay, we buy one, the other we get on loan with option to buy. Deal? Okay. But no, Azar is a waste of a conversation because makes too much money, too old, too fat, like Alan said. He's Belgian, not French. He's going to come in as a dick and leave as an asshole. So no thank you. Goodbye. Good riddance. He's 30. I'll take the 26-year-old with something to prove. Thank you.
That was an absolute legendary quote. I don't think I'll ever forget that for the rest of my life. I don't know what I was expecting you to say something else. He came as a dick. He's leaving an asshole. Holy shit. That was legendary stuff. Oh, Charlie, I'm so happy I pay you to make these decisions.
Do you know what I like about Costia? Costia is like a train, yeah. Costia pulls out of the station slow.
He ain't no Thomas the Train.
He ain't stopping. He ain't no Thomas the Tank Engine. That's a very good point. But he ain't stopping. Man's got top speed like nobody's, but he's just counting down.
Mind the gap, please. Mind the gap.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I really struggle to separate those two answers, but Costia's just momentum there is difficult to argue against. I'm gonna have to give Costia the point. Like the actual arguments themselves, I can't separate too much. I think the arguments are by and large the same thing. Minus one or two little jiggery pokery bits on the inside. But so at that point you've just got to take traction into consideration. And my man was like a comet coming towards Earth. There was just no stopping it. There's just no stopping it. Right. The dinosaurs, they got extinct, Lucas.
Let me tell you, that was probably one of the most legendary Costia rants, just stanzas I've ever seen.
Also,
ever heard.
He's Belgian, not French. an underrated quote in there.
He came in a dick and left an asshole. That's all I know. Now we're into the second half of extra time. Adam's really helping us.
Oh, does Adam have a question that's better than UFOs? Because I have a UFO tangent ready to go. I just don't know if it's an appropriate way to end a West Ham show.
Bro, I did a watch along the other day and spoke about children's TV shows for 15 minutes. Lucas was there. He can back it. I wouldn't worry too much about what's appropriate or not.
Well, what's Adam? Are you talking Adam Frankel?
No, Adam Wilkinson in the chat.
Oh.
He asked us, what do we think about Origi? So we're into the second half.
He's not a legend. I take it back.
Okay, good. Correct.
We are now knotted up at 3-3. We're into the second half of extra time.
Former cult leader, Adam Frankel.
We need one more question because I really don't want to end it on a draw. We could go UFO if we really want to take it there. Charlie, I feel like, has more than the average knowledge of UFOs.
Listen, I did science. You know what I mean? I got an A in physics. We can bust it out if we need. Do you know what I mean? I've played XCOM. We can move in those movements if we want.
Okay.
But at the same time, I also have opinions on the Adam Wilkinson's question in the chat. If you want to go that way, I have movements on both. It's up to you.
All right, this is going to be the final question. Someone's going to win. Jesus, Costia, I don't know how you're going to follow up after that legendary rant. I really don't. You're gonna have to bring your A+ game now. Screw it. Opinions on Divock or Origi. Are we going to get him? Can we get him? Would he be a good fit at the club? Costia, go first.
Mate, I'm over here getting ready to talk about the Air Force and the CIA and the fact that there's 100 billion planets in the universe. And now I've got to talk about Divock bloody Origi. Really? Okay, fine. Let's do it.
In America, we don't do draws, James. We don't do draws.
Tell you what. how to answer this without not sounding like a hypocrite. Well, too bad. I will sound like a hypocrite, okay? Because I was just slating a Belgian, okay? There's a big difference, though. Massive difference between these two Belgians. Very big difference. In fact, the only thing they really have in common is that they're Belgian, okay? Because they play very differently. But more importantly, I know Divock Origi would love to play here because it would be a second chance to really show who he is, because he is a quality player that is sitting behind world-class players, and he's dying to get minutes on the pitch for somebody that really wants him there. Okay, he's done some incredible things as a substitute in the Champions League, and he is not Christian Benteke. He is not one of these Belgian strikers that's going to flop. He's not. He's
not going to waffle about.
The guy you can put him on with 20 minutes left in a Champions League match and know that he's going to equalize or win the game. He has a bit of those, may I say, Chicharito instincts, okay, where he's a fox in the box and his positioning is very sound. I would love to have this guy on the team. In fact, I can't think of a striker we've been linked to that's a better option, because Hlozek is too young. Bellotti plays for frickin' Torino in Serie A, which I don't have any respect for. Okay, it's not Juventus. Okay, shout out Juventus and Ogbonna. Okay, but Divock Origi has done it in the Champions League, done it at the Premier League level. He's similar enough to Antonio that he can come in. He's clever with his positioning. He can pass the ball. He can do a little bit of everything. But more importantly is his attitude. He's relentless. Oh, and let me not forget, he speaks French. End of rant.
Goodness, I am just absolutely.
He's into it when he starts pointing at the floor. He's just letting it, like he's throwing down bomb. He's just like, bang, here's another one.
He looks like Cristiano Ronaldo demanding the ball.
Dude, no, I've watched 8 Mile too many times, you know.
Yeah. It's big vibes.
Yeah, your real name's Clarence. Alan, you're up. Alan, you are up. I don't know how you can. I'm gonna need something passionate. I need something passionate to follow that up.
It's 3 a.m. Bro, I'm tired. There's not going to be much passion. But aside of the two facts that Azar probably speaks French because he was born in a village near the French border, and the fact that Ogbonna played for Torino as well. Well, Origi is a lovely striker. I've wanted him for a few years now. Remember when we were linked with him for the first time, when Liverpool actually got him. I wanted him back then as well. Well, he's got pace. He's got pretty much everything we need: pace, positioning, finishing, whatever you name, skill on the ball. Like Costia said, the Chicharito-esque fox in the box type performances he can produce. He's a very good option off the bench, because even necessary, we could technically play him as that inverted winger type player, like some sort of Bowen, but on the other side, when you don't really need creativity, but someone to run on goal and score potentially. I just have questions and really about his availability, because I'm not sure if he's available for transfer. I've seen reports over the fact that Liverpool actually want to extend his contract that runs out in 2023, I believe. So it's going to be tough, because if you have to choose between being a second choice at Liverpool and being second choice at West Ham, there's a clear option that's not going to be being second choice at West Ham.
That's a good point.
The only possibility I see is that we promise him over a 5-year contract with a kind of big wage rise, that when Antonio retires, and we don't know when that's going to happen, He gets to be the first choice. That could take 2-3 years, and probably in the 2-3 years he's more likely to either leave to a better club, let's say, because being at Liverpool instantly makes him a good option business-wise for clubs like, let's say, Borussia Dortmund even. So I'd love him. I'd love him a lot because I think he's a great player. But if he's available, I'm not sure, and it would be kind of tough, I guess, to
Can I
make
a
him
brief
leave.
rebuttal?
Sure.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair.
One sentence.
Oh.
One sentence. I only have to say one sentence. It's my very, very brief. Divock Origi's agent is Will Salthouse. End of point.
That doesn't always work.
Well, it's very, very helpful.
Moyes doesn't care about Salthouse.
Yeah, but one of the
Rob
guys
Newman
signing
won't
the
as well.
He's like our personal agent. Like, we call him first about deals. I think it matters a little bit.
Moyes already rejected a few players of Salthouse.
That's true, because they weren't good enough. You know, players like Philip Billing at Bournemouth and players like that. But no, I mean, I don't know if he would consider himself second string just because of Antonio's injury history and how knackered he is and how he's playing for Jamaica now and like on like Costa Rican dirt fields and things. So I think he'd be okay.
Just taking shots at every country, and Costia's just clapping all over. Costa Rica's next in line.
Absolute
Paolo
passion
One Chop's furious. He's going to batter you like he did that under-23 coach or whatever happened. He's coming for you, bro.
All right, Charlie, can you please break this tiebreaker before Costia has an aneurysm from all the passion that is exerting out of him?
I'm good.
I'm fine. We're fine.
Lucas, it's interesting, right? And I'll tell you for why.
I love that.
I'll tell you for why. Because I agree with Alan. And I think Alan's made the more varied points that I agree with. But Costia said it with such force, man. And it's one of those ones where I'm sitting there, and yet again, you've got to take into account Alan. It's like 3 a.m. He's not bringing, like, Alan's not. I don't think anyone at 3 a.m. is capable of bringing that kind of slap downage that Costia's bringing, but at the same time, like, he's bringing the pot. It's interesting. It's difficult, Lucas. It's difficult, and I really don't know which way to go. I really don't know which way to go.
Don't worry.
I can't not back the volume. Costia's getting the dub. It was just so loud. Like, the thing is, like I say, I think I agree more with Alan's points. I really do. I think he had just everything that was necessary there. The little bits and pieces, but it just wasn't quite. I just
back to the volume. Hashtag it. Back to the volume.
Let the boys know. He need it. You need it. Just. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, Costia gets the dub. Costia gets the dub.
I thought my cigar broke for a second. I was literally just about to hit end broadcast and discuss if the cigar was broken.
Now I think are we not 3-3 now?
No, you won 4-3.
No. I mean, in the overall standing.
Oh.
I think you are. I think so. I might be wrong
it's
about
now Alan 3, me 3. So now it's getting very interesting.
This is the best NBA Finals ever. God, this is sick. All right. Wow, that was a hell of a show. Lots of passion. You can't help but back the volume. I mean, my God.
Back the volume. Deploy the boys.
Absolute passion merchant you are, Costia, and I love you for that. Costia wins 4-3. The series is now 3-3 going into episode 7. Which
also, just before we end, very quickly, Luca.
Yes.
What the random Serie A hate? Just
oh my god!
Shots at every team. You're not Juventus. You don't matter.
Every country, every league, every region. My God!
My goodness me!
Except
from the Polish, French, Belgian waffle.
Except East London.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, you know.
Dagenham and Redbridge FC, my local, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mandem.
Yeah.
Love that. My ends. You get me. Love that. All right. Costia wins 4-3. Series is tied 3-3 going into the next episode, which will hopefully happen next Saturday, not tomorrow, next Saturday. Again, hope I'm pointing to the right direction of progression. Should be that way. Gents, thank you. Charlie, I appreciate you always coming on and judging these guys with a lot of respect. I mean, you are the most respectful judge.
Thank you.
I love that.
Try to keep it fair and down the line. Explain the decisions, even if they are wild. You know what I mean? You've got to explain, that. You know what I mean?
Just VAR check at all times. Can you make sure to get that guitar tuned for next episode?
Nope. I could say it and not do it, which is probably more likely what will happen.
Just get your prop ready for next episode.
I'll get prop next ready. Yeah. I'll be
Costia, thank you for being an absolute passion merchant. That
Absolutely.
can be respected.
No problem. Back the daggers. 10th in the conference premier, but we're only 7 points off Chesterfield in first. It's very tight.
Yes, let's go.
Absolutely
Very tight table
insane.
this season. So come on, you daggers.
Should probably also say, by the way, the Saturday after next is Christmas Day, so I don't know if we're doing one on that day or not. I don't know. That's something we'll have to figure out at some point.
Even if we
Probably
did, I don't
not.
think anyone would be watching. We might have to do a Boxing Day special, or maybe the day after Boxing Day. Huh?
And Alan, thank you for staying up and giving us
thank
your
you,
insight.
Alan. Thank you.
No
Obviously,
worries.
we all couldn't do this show on Saturday, so we're lucky that Alan is willing to stay up. Charlie doesn't sleep, and I think he just hibernates in the winter. But Charlie, it's winter, right? Did someone in the Bear family tell you? No?
Yeah, man. I wrap up in this. I just like stand up and sleep like that, and then I wake up like sometime later and start work again. You know what I mean?
You wake up like this.
Also, John Nolan said I'm dressed like David Sullivan. Am I dressed like David Sullivan? Because I strongly disagree. Is it because David Sullivan wears burgundy? I don't know. Claret
Oh
and blue.
my God, are we officially cozy boys?
Are we cozy boys today? Are we all in the
Cozy
codes?
boy.
Oh, hold on. Ready?
Are we all in the? Yes.
Yeah.
I would clap, but I can't because my arms are in the codes. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm in a sweatshirt. This is about as cozy as I'm gonna get. Love that.
Night,
I want-
Uncle Lucas.
I want Uncle Chairman.
Nope.
I want to thank everyone in the chat that has come by to say hi, drop questions, stay active. I want to thank Peach, Up the Mendem, Kieran, Lawrence, Wally. We're going to go through them all, I promise.
John Nolan and his
Cyber
insults.
Leader, John Nolan, Michael Lewis on Facebook, James, my brother.
Tom Atherton.
Yes.
Dom.
Dom.
Russell Brand was in the chat for a minute. Thanks, Russ.
Thank you so much.
Be sure to
Scott,
tune into his Good Vibes podcast. It's
Scott Verne,
every
thank
Wednesday
you.
at 9:00 on Spotify. I just made
Adam
that up. That's
Wilkinson,
not true.
big ups. Thank you. Appreciate you. I already said thank you. Kieran, big ups. Oh, Tarek, big ups. I love you, brother.
Yeah, that Philadelphia trader. Go ahead. Go away. We don't want you here. I'm just kidding. We love you very much. We can't wait to see you for the Christmas match.
Yes, and Adam, thank you for that UFO question. I really wish we could have answered that. But is there anything else you guys would like to say before we go? And thank you, Fo. Thank you, Fo. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. No, you guys don't want to say anything else?
I feel
Bro, we're all just cozy, bro. We're all tucked out. We're tucked in, and we're ready for big naps.
Tucked out,
Yes.
tucked in. Mend them. You get me.
Long
My
live
ends.
the Academy.
My ends. The Academy of Fullbacks. Good night, everybody. Much love. Take care. Stay safe. Let's get 3 points on Sunday. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.